For Thalapathy Vijay, as the Madras High Court clears the decks for his real swan song, Jana Nayagan, the court has pulled up the censor board. This is important to note, viewers, directing it to grant a UA certification once minor modifications are made. The High Court makes it clear the complaint against the film appears to be an afterthought, warning that entertaining such pleas sets a dangerous precedent. Crucially, the film will not be sent to the censor board review panel. With certification imminent, all eyes are now on Vijay's farewell film and whether Jana Nayagan hits the screens this Pongal weekend.
See, we are not taking sides on any movie, but let me make it very clear. Now the cat is out of the wall. Even yesterday when I spoke to several channels, I said, if today's order is favourable to Jana Nayagan and if the censor board will go and challenge the verdict, then it clearly means that the BJP does not want the movie to be released and they want to use it as a blackmail in order to make Vijay join alliance with ADMK and BJP. For BJP and ADMK, it is very profoundly clear that their vote share is not going to be more than 20%. If the same combined will face the election, their number of seats they would have will be in single digits, and DMK will get more than 200 MLAs. In order to, for example, save face, they think if the TVK will come, maybe their vote share can be 25%, 26%. Even then, the DMK vote share will be more than 50%, but at least they can save the face, which is why I think they are desperate to have TVK in their alliance. That is why they are trying all forms of possibilities.
Before I go to our correspondents on the ground, it's very important to take you through what the Madras High Court has said. The first point is clear Vijay's Jana Nayagan for certification, and it goes on to say complaint appears to be an afterthought is another observation made. Entertaining such complaints sets a dangerous trend, a dangerous precedent. Certification will follow once modifications are done. These are some of the main points there from the High Court. Going to our reporters now, Veera and Vasudha joining us live on that developing story. Veera, big win for Vijay. Just take us through the big takeaways after the decision has come in from the court. Veera, we can't hear you.
Because it will be challenged.
Yes, we can now.
Right. Vedika, it's premature to say it's a big win because we're now clear that the censor board, the certification board, as you call it, will challenge that order, that strong order by a single judge before a division bench of the Madras High Court. When that hearing will happen, how this plays out is still a matter of suspense. Remember, once the order and a final order is given, then the censor board will have to issue the certificate, and only after that the producers can release the movie. The fact that they have appealed means that they will wait for this another hearing to be over. Now, then they also have the option of going up to the apex court in this. So there's a lot of uncertainty still there, though it's a huge first win in the courts for the producers of Jana Nayagan, and the court has reiterated their position that it has been unfairly stalled and the certification unfairly withheld.
All right, Veera, do stay with me. Vasudha also joining us live. Vasudha, how are the people reacting to this news? Of course, this is something that we're looking at from a legal perspective, political perspective, but also being Vijay's swan song reel movie.
More importantly, just to add to what Veera stays the single judge's order in Jana Nayagan case. What I understand is that the producer can go to appeal to the Supreme Court, and if it refuses to grant a stay, the CBFC can move the Supreme Court. But remember that it's on leave only on Jan 14th, so which means that there are legal hurdles that are still present when it comes to Jana Nayagan's release. We have Mani with us. He's a super fan of Vijay. Sir, what is your expectation today? Are you disappointed? Are you optimistic?
Definitely it's a disappointment, madam, because it's going to be a last movie for a very big star. It's not even a star, it's an emotion. And it's a birthday today for me, and I was completely planned for a big party and celebrate along with my brother. He's like a brother in his emotion. And
Vijay is your brother.
Yeah, Vijay sir is definitely an emotion to us, and is more than a brother for us. And somebody is going to leave such a huge stardom and coming for people, we need to respect him. And I don't think media stream is like no need of politics. It's a media stream. It's one of the streams where we convey to people like the goodness. And this is ridiculous, madam.
So people are quite disappointed, and I also have a couple here, Vedika, and this is, நீங்க வந்து movie பார்க்க வந்திருக்கீங்களா? Are you sad? Are you happy? Are you hopeful that the movie will be released soon?
தளபதி படம் வரன்ட்டு தான் இன்றைக்கி வந்தோம். ஆனால் தளபதி படம் இன்றைக்கி வந்து வராதுன்னு சொன்னதுனால ரொம்ப கஷ்டமாக தான் இருக்குது.
Are you also a fan?
ஆமாம் மேம், சின்ன வயசுலேருந்து ஃபேன்.
Okay. So both of them are fans, husband and wife, and they came all the way to watch the movie, hoping that it would be released today. But yes, that was never the expectation. But remember that legal hurdles are still there, Vedika, and the hearing is expected to take place today. And this is after the CBFC, challenged the single judge order in the Madras High Court. It has filed a writ appeal, and that hearing is expected to take place today or next week. Remember, there are also holidays on account of Makar Sankranti, so very few days windows left for the release of Jana Nayagan. And all of this, even as we wait for Parasakti's release, clearance has still not come from the CBFC. So two big movies, the last Pongal before Tamil Nadu goes to polls for 2026. A politically sensitive fortnight for the state of Tamil Nadu, just a precursor for what is expected in the elections.
All right, do stay with me. Veera, coming back to you. After you, I'm going to go to Lata Srinivasan as well. But Veera, from what we've heard from the Madras High Court, two big takeaways of what the judges said. Entertaining such complaints, quote unquote, is a dangerous trend, and also goes on to say that the Madras High Court has noted that the complaint against Jana Nayagan appears to be an afterthought.
Order is a stinging one. The order is one that gives the producers of Jana Nayagan a decisive legal victory in the first round. But Vedika, what's the point of it all if you can't get the film out for the weekend as planned? Because if it's going to be a protracted legal battle, the order makes no difference for the producers. More importantly, Vedika, and I want Vasudha to weigh in as well, that remember there is a summons for Vijay to appear before the CBI in the Stampede case on the 12th of January. That's also before Pongal. So multiple things at play. Will he go to Delhi? How this is going to play out in the political field? I spoke to TVK leaders who say, we want to wait for the courts to give a final order. We will not react to this issue because the matter is sub judice. I think there's a lot of silent calibrations that are playing out around this film. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out. This is not the climax or the last act, though it's a strong order from the High Court single judge.
Veera, do stay with me. I also have Lata Srinivasan, consulting editor, entertainment, joining me on the phone line. Lata, let's call this a shot in the arm for Vijay and TVK for now. But how do you see this playing out in terms of the release of the movie?
I agree with what Veera said, because there are a lot of legal issues at stake. They have filed an appeal at the High Court, and if the ASG presents Justice Asha's order, and all the papers, then the case could get listed today. Right? It will get numbered and listed today, and it will come up for hearing today itself. Now, if that happens, even if that happens, based on what the High Court, decides, the earliest it can release would be Jan 14. They cannot release before that, because there are a lot of business considerations to take into place. Now, if the team decides to go to the... Hello? If the team decides... Yeah.
Go ahead, Lata.
Yeah. If the CBFC team again decides to appeal that order, then it will go to the Supreme Court. So the legal hurdles are many at this point, but it is a moral victory for the producer of Jana Nayagan and Jana Nayagan itself. And fans are quite happy about this, but they are just hoping that the Madras High Court gives a legal victory to the film.
All right, Lata, thanks for joining me on the phone line. Vasudha, coming to you, all eyes also on Parasakti. The release is due, but there could be some cuts to that as well. What can you share on that with us?
Well, what I understand is that, Vedika, there is politics and there's optics as well. And if you look at social media and also if you hear conversations here, they're all blaming CBFC for trying to stall a movie's release. And this is not just going to be the case with Jana Nayagan, even with Parasakti, which is awaiting clearance. And Parasakti is based on anti-Hindi riots, it's based on Tamil sentiment. So there is optics to this as well. While CBFC's processes are important, remember that the High Court also lashed out against CBFC and said that the complaint seemed to have been an afterthought here. Like Lata and Veera have also been pointing out that if it's a protracted battle, then both these movies do lose out on the Pongal weekend celebrations and festivities, and it is huge in Tamil Nadu. It's a very important Pongal just before elections, and usually Pongal is the most important festival for Tamil Nadu. So there's a lot of conversation around this. Right now there is disappointment, there is optimism, but all in the veil of a little bit of anger that why this movie, specifically Jana Nayagan, is not getting released. Because remember, today was the day it was to be released. So while cuts have been asked of the producers, we'll have to wait and see what kind of legal challenges the movie continues to face, because CBFC decidedly is not letting this go, and the hearing is expected to take place today afternoon.
Veera, what this has also thrown up are the possibilities ahead of the state polls when it comes to alliances. You had the Congress come out and back Vijay and his party over the release of this movie. What's interesting is you and I were speaking about how TVK has maintained this silence ahead of the hearing. Do you think it's played in their favor in terms of the sympathy vote garnering for them at this point, or do you think it's a tactical move by them?
Well, politically, it has definitely bolstered the narrative that Vijay is under attack. It makes the BJP looks like the villain and the central government looks like the villain.
And the censor board.
In this entire piece. The censor board, because when you say, while it's an independent body, the certification body, Vedika, it will be seen as something that's in the prism of the BJP from a political point of view. So it's Vasudha was pointing about there's politics, there's optics, but remember there's also money involved. 500 crores, 600 crores. These are huge sums of money that you're talking about, and this will affect business. Remember, you're talking of 900 screens which may not have a movie to run in Pongal. And this is the big festival season. So this is not good for the industry. It's great for Vijay's political optics of being under target. How this allows in terms of political alignment, where the Congress is fishing in troubled waters, is the BJP fishing in troubled waters, how this is going to play out is anybody's guess. But at the moment, the politics, the optics dominating, but what's perhaps most important for the producers is the money and the business itself on a Pongal weekend.
And of course, that's the worry, isn't it, Lata, for the producers? Huge stakes involved. Pongal weekend may not have 2 movies being released. A huge worry for the industry. Lata?
Point out it's not just... Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, it's not just the producers' livelihood which is at stake. It's also the exhibitors, the theatres and the distributors. See, a big film is what brings in distributors money so that they can run smaller films through the rest of the year. If they don't make good business during Pongal, then it affects the livelihoods of the theatres itself. Can theatres exist? They are, running because of the big films that release through the year. So it will have a huge impact on the Tamil film industry and the film business itself in Tamil Nadu if the 2 movies don't release. And that is really worrying for the film industry at this point.
All right, Vasudha is still with us. She's outside a movie theatre as well. We have Veera Raghav joining us on the big picture of it all. Vasudha, coming to you, ever since the Madras High Court has come out with this decision, which of course is now going to be heard again because the censor board is also challenging it, how are the people on the ground reacting? Because like you've just spoken to some of them, they were very, very excited to watch the movie released today itself. It's been a disappointment for many, but who are they really blaming, squarely blaming for the delay in the release of Vijay's last movie?
Well, Vedika, like yesterday, Rata and Veera were pointing out, till yesterday, the people of Tamil Nadu did not really have anybody to blame. But today, the fact that CBFC challenged the Madras High Court's verdict, and it has basically filed an appeal against it, and it wants a hearing, an urgent hearing of the writ appeal. Now I do hear those noises saying that, asking why is the CBFC not wanting this movie to be released. And remember that there have been talks about BJP also wanting TVK to be on its side. So those speculations are playing out. And these are just speculations because we don't really know what is happening. We know that on the political front, AIDMK, BJP are together, and the PMK has also allied with them now. And then there is this talk about a grander alliance being put in place before Pongal. But these two movies are also set to be released during the Pongal weekend. So all three alliances, all three parties are politically looking forward to, boosting their presence here, which is why now I do talk about, I do see a sense of disappointment and anger amongst people asking this question as to why is the centre stopping this movie of our Thalapathy. That is specifically coming from Vijay's fans. With regard to Parasakti, the Parasakti is backed by DMK. It doesn't still have a clearance. It is supposed to get released tomorrow. It's based on anti-Hindi agitation and also Tamil sentiment. And if that movie also doesn't find a certificate by the end of today, I think this is going to politically heat up in the state of Tamil Nadu.
And Veera, that brings me to the big question here again. Politics, actors and movies in the state of Tamil Nadu all go together in a way, and a lot of alliance talk, a lot of speculation also emerges from this industry.
Well, politics, actors, cinema and emotion, Vedika, most importantly. Let's not touch emotion. The emotion is the one that's the cord between politics, actors, and cinema in Tamil Nadu politics. And I think that emotion is enormous when a particular hero or a Tamil sentiment is under target. A movie becoming a target is something that's an enormous political narrative. Not today, way back in the day, when MGR's Ulagam Sutrum Valiban was tried to be stalled by some DMK forces, it had a major release, and that's one of the reasons why he was so powerful. He was always a powerful star, but that kind of adds to the narrative. All this is extremely important and closely watched and will play out in full blow as we head into TN 2026. How Parashakti will get released, what kind of certification it gets will also be closely watched. But I believe, just to add to what Vasudha said, that the producers seem confident that they will get a certification. But there is a worry that if a Jana Nayagan doesn't release, but a Parasakti releases, how does that play out in the political optics as well? So many calculations at play, Vasudha, Vedika.
All right, and let's bring Lata into this discussion as well. Once again, Lata, an important point raised by Veera there, that if Parasakti gets released and not Vijay's movie, how do we even see that play out within the industry?
Well, it's a very dicey thing. I think the big fight was seen as between Parasakti and Jana Nayagan at the Pongal box office. But if one film gets released and, if Parasakti comes first and Jana Nayagan comes later, I still think that, Jana Nayagan will still have that fervor and frenzy. But what will happen to Parasakti is that it will have to prove itself at the box office. And, there's more pressure on the director and actors and, the producer of Parasakti, because they have to prove that they've made a fantastic film and that it's, going to resonate with the people if it becomes a solo release. So I think there's more pressure if they come out first. As far as Jana Nayagan goes, the sympathy of the people is strongly with Vijay. His fans will support him. They will make it a blockbuster no matter what. So I think even if the date changes, Jana Nayagan will still be a blockbuster, and he's going to gain more sympathy, and it will improve his chances at the 2026 elections as well.
All right, Lata, I want you to explain to our viewers what's at stake here when it comes to Vijay's movie. Is it crucial because this is his real swan song? Is it crucial because he then becomes a full-time politician? Or is it crucial because of two movies who would go head-to-head in the box office of the South?
See, in the history of Tamil cinema, and Tamil Nadu politics, movies have always been used to reach, ideological messaging to the hinterlands, right into the rural areas. Now, Vijay has conducted only a handful of public rallies so far, and he's only been able to reach a certain amount of the population. But through Jana Nayagan, he can reach lakhs of people through this film and the messaging that he wants to send out, which resonates clearly with what he has been talking about in his roadshows as well, right? So I think this is a huge advantage for him, and he's using this movie as a swan song, but also to reach out to lakhs and crores of people across Tamil Nadu in one shot. And I think, that is very, very, very important, because his star persona now becomes the political persona through this film, and it gives him a very big advantage heading into the elections.